All right, guys. So we've had this issue for a little while now, and I want to read you guys off something here. And this really pertains to the TJ Hockenson catch or no catch. All right. So I did a little research, and this is what the NFL has listed as what is a catch. There's three parts to this. So you guys ready here? All right, a catch occurs when control the ball. The player must secure the ball with their hands and arms before it touches the ground. Simply touching the ball or deflecting it is not enough. Number two, 2 feet or any body part down. The playmaker must get both feet down or another body part besides the hands. For a player in the end zone, getting 1 foot down is sufficient for a touchdown. Also, while maintaining control of the ball. Number 3, maintaining control through the process of the catch. And this is where it all starts getting a little haywire here. If the player goes to the ground while catching, they must maintain control of the ball through the contact with the ground. If the ball touches the ground and the player loses control, it is incomplete, even if they initially have possession. Surviving the ground. And here's where the fun one is here, surviving the ground. Is the phrase often used, the ball can move slightly, but it cannot come loose. That's a whole lot to take in there, and I don't think that the NFL even knows what the hell they're doing with it either, because we're still running into the same damn problems. And I think that we got a video clip here for you, courtesy of Fox Sports, of just TJ Hockenson himself explaining what he's talking about here.
Figure it out. It's, New York can't call in and say that it's not a catch when every other ref out there says it is. I mean, that's all it is to it. That's all there is to it. It would give them us an op at the end. But I mean, it's just crazy. I mean, this whole thing. You can't have somebody call in that's not at the game, and with apparently a different view than everybody else has here. I mean, it is what it is.
He had a lot to say there, man. Mr. G Mike, why don't you unpack what he was just saying, man?
Okay, so let's just talk about what he was talking about, right? And then we'll talk about the catch and everything. He's talking about that New York, because New York is the replay center. They look at every single touchdown. They go over it to see if it was a touchdown or not. They call in and they let the refs know, yo, that's a touchdown. Yo, that's not a touchdown. So he's complaining on the fact that New York does that and the NFL allows New York to do that. Again, just a replay center, not New York in general. And I disagree with what he's saying, because at the end of the day, there's millions of dollars involved with coaches, players, organizations, and even us fans that like to sports gamble, right? Fantasy football, just gambling on the regular player props, team props, game lines, whatever the case may be when it comes to sports gambling. So there's a lot of money that's involved into it. So one catch, one TD catch, one team's win, one team's loss can affect a team's whole season, a fan's money, pocket, a team organization's money, players' money, all the above, right? So I disagree with what he's saying, that New York can't call in and reverse the call, because I think that you should make sure that every single touchdown is either a touchdown or not.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, that's been a debate that's been going on since Des Bryant. I mean, I know I'm talking about it being a Cowboys fan and that. We still haven't figured this one out. BC, what's your thoughts, man?
Look, I may disagree, like G Mike, with Hockenson as far as you do need to be allowed to have, the right call be done. My pushback against this call is the fact that it was overturned. We've looked at this multiple times, obviously before the show, and even looking at it again, slow-mo. What's always been the consensus for overturning a call? Clear and convincing evidence. I've been watching this touchdown catch, even just trying to see, is there anything that I can see through it that says, okay, yeah, that's clearly not a catch. Clearly he lost control when it made contact. Clearly this. No, it's not. This is something where it's not necessarily confirmed by, looking at it again through the replay, but this is something that it's not, there's not enough evidence, in my opinion, to overturn that. The ball, if it makes contact with the ground, it's minimal. If it made contact with the ground, it did not cause him to lose possession at all at any point during the catch. And again, which it's allowed. It's allowed to make contact with the ground as long as you don't lose possession. So my thing is, there's not clear enough evidence from the angles that we're seeing to show that, okay, yeah, no, it definitely needs to be overturned. It's not clear and convincing enough. At least
Can
in
we
my
play? Can we play it again, please? Play it again. I wanna see exactly what BC's talking about because I've seen it. But I just want to see it right now and make sure before I go and I say something else that is incorrect.
because I'm just looking at it from mostly the front angle where he's catching it at the
But
front.
on this clip that Steve put up, like it shows it. You just try to
I don't understand. I
not
don't
this side. You
obviously
don't see it on
understand
this
the catch
side.
rule at this
Okay.
point.
Nope, sorry.
Jay had one like the exact same thing last year.
Get it right
in
one
front of
day.
the end zone. So they got to
All
figure
right,
it out.
so just
New York can't call in and say
Right there, he
that
loses
it's
control.
Not a catch when every other ref out there says
Right
it is.
when he
I mean,
pops,
see-
when his body pops
that's all
up,
there
the
is to it.
ball
They're giving us
moves
an
and it
opportunity.
goes like his wrist
but-
goes like this, and the
I mean,
ball
it's-
comes on
it's
top
just
of it.
crazy.
Like
I mean,
the
But
ball
see,
goes
my
right
thing-
here.
You can't have
my
it.
thing with that is was the ground causing that because he hit the ground from the front and then his hands rolled up under it. And then once his hands rolled up under it, that's when you start seeing again like that brief loss of possession there. So I don't know. It's one of those things where let me just try to take a look one more time because like I said, like it looks like it's one of those where it could be, could not be. We're still trying to figure this crap out.
I would have said it was a catch. If it was my opinion, I would have said I would have gave
Yeah.
that the catch and the touchdown there because, like you were saying too,
And he's in bounds, mind you. He's also in bounds.
right?
Yeah,
And just
he's definitely
I
inbound.
think that the element of where there was in the game, what was going on, the importance of that play, and on top of it too, the ball you're able to, like they were saying too, and we read the rules, it is able to touch the ground as long as they maintain control. He did
Exactly.
maintain control there, but.
He
Yeah,
didn't
and then-
exactly. He didn't maintain control. Exactly. When he hit the ground, the ball was still there. When he was still there in his hands, but when he popped up, when his body popped up,
Yes.
he tried to like bring it in. Like I know you've seen other players do it. That they go, they
Yeah.
catch the ball, and they try to turn their body so they put the ball over themselves instead of having the ball towards the ground because they know that it can pop out. He tried to do that, but when he tried to do that, the ball moves from its placement and it goes towards from his wrist to his thumb. Watch.
Yeah.
Can't
Yeah,
see.
and that's what
Right here,
we're
you
seeing
see it.
from that side angle though too. Yeah.
You
Right.
see how it
Here's the
Pops
shifts?
ball.
up right there, yeah.
You see how it
But I
shifts?
would say that yeah. But I wouldn't say that that's caused by the ground though. I would say that was just cause of him trying to move it after he had established possession and then trying to
Exactly,
shift
yeah.
it, which is something again, we like you said, we've seen how many times like I think the catch in the Patriots, I think it might have been the Julio Edelman catch with the Patriots in the Super Bowl against the Falcons, where it was like kind of popping around or whatever. They call that completion. So for me, my thing is if the ground didn't cause it, which there's not enough evidence to show that, then in my opinion, the call just should have stood. Not that it was confirmed, not that it was overturned, but that it just stood. There wasn't enough evidence. But
Yeah. So,
again,
so-
go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say. So I just want to be clear that
Yeah.
I would have said that's a catch because of the fact that I think that it should be taken into account on how hard that damn catch was. First of all, like for real. Like let's be serious. We're an entertaining sport, right? It's supposed to be entertaining. So I would have been like, "Yo, that was tough as hell," and he still hold on to it while he turned his body over, and he had it there. Yeah, he did. It shifted from his hands. I think that's what I see. It shifted from his hands. But when it shifted from his hands, he was still able to keep it above from touching the ground, turn his body over, and put it on his chest. I would have said that's a touchdown because of how challenging that catch would have been. But just going based off the rules, what Steve has read off, if the ball moves when you hit the ground, I don't remember the exact words. So
Yeah, I can do it again real quick.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll go over this one. Maintaining control through the process of the catch. 3 parts of this. If the player goes to the ground while catching, they must maintain control of the ball through the contact with the ground. Number 2, if the ball touches the ground and the player loses control, it is incomplete even if they initially had possession, which is, I think, this where that comes in here. And here's another one here that the third part of this, surviving the ground. If is the phrase used often, the ball can move slightly, but it cannot come loose.
It didn't come loose because he still had a body part on it, but he did lose control. Like you could tell that it shifted from his hand. Like it wasn't the way that because when you look at the first on that clip, when you look at the first initial grab, he grabs it like this. He grabs it two hands, and then he hits the ground. You won't see it on this clip. I think it starts too later, like a millisecond later. But maybe in this one, you see how he caught it. That he had both hands like this. The ball was here. When he hits the ground, his hands move, which is the shift of control, which is why I think that it's a good call. But again, I think that there should be, since we're an entertainment business, I think there should be some type of leeway of, yo, that was challenging as hell, and he still was able to not let the ball hit the ground after he turned his body and everything. But that's just an opinion, really.
All right, so I got a new rule then, because you're right, it is an entertaining there. So we gave coaches a challenge flag. Can we just give like a badass play flag? Right there. Exactly, like you got it's a green flag or something like that, and like just throw it out there. You have to be dramatic when you throw it out. Give a badass play flag, and hey, you have to
flag
go
with fire that comes on the end.
Yeah, something like there's an explosion that goes off. Like it's just the badass play of the day. You get one chance, one shot, and that would be fun. It would not. A lot of people would probably be pissed off, especially the gambling aspect of things. But I'm all for it, man. I think it'd be a lot of fun to have the badass flag. How about that one? The BAF.
Yeah, but to go off on what he was saying, I don't disagree on what he was saying because I think every touchdown should be reviewed, no matter what. Because, dude, like we're humans, we make mistakes. You think referees and players are robots? They are not. They are not. They make mistakes as well. So I think that every single touchdown should be reviewed.
Yeah, that's especially if we have the technology, why not use it?
Exactly.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's kind of the point out. I guess for me, where I'm just getting the hang up is that I don't think the ground caused it. I think that he established control up until the point, like we said, we was trying to shift it to get it closer to his body so that way he doesn't make contact anymore, and he's trying to bring it in closer to himself. Mm-hmm. And then, again, for me, I just don't think there was enough evidence to overturn it. I don't. But, again, I've seen catches where guys will catch it and they'll fall on their back, but then it pops out, but then they grab it back. That's a catch.
Yeah.
And we're kind of
because they never hit the ground. Because they never hit the ground.
Yeah, so it's one of those things like where it's still like, come on.